Do you find yourself late to fights, never can get away or escape your enemies, or you're just looking for speed? Well, you've come to the right place. And while I have your attention, why not hit that like and subscribe button for me, as it tells me you want more of these videos. But anyways, let's get started. Before you dive into the first technique, you need to understand this one fact. Different characters have different stamina bars off of level 1. Well, at least some of them. See, all characters have 3 stamina bars, except for Ivy, who has 4 stamina bars, and McGinnis and Vindicta, who both have 2 stamina bars. Now that's out of the way, let's get started. There's also 2 other base sets for every single character in this game, that being both move speed and sprint speed. Every character is unique and different, so try to keep that in mind when picking a character, and when you're trying to understand the movement of this game. Walking and sprinting, how do you tell the difference? Well, first you check this icon. This is your sprint icon, and the speed that you're going at. Right now I'm currently in the sprint speed, as I'm not in any type of combat, whether that be shooting or taking damage. But the second I start shooting and doing damage or taking damage, it automatically goes down to 4.2. Again, this is based off Great Talon, which the speed is different. Now quickly, before we get into the more basic and advanced techniques, I quickly want to talk about what techniques don't require any usage of the stamina bar. Well, it's pretty obvious. Crouching, crouch walking, doing a normal single jump. None of these require stamina usage, so it's pretty good to use in combat. Another thing to note, going up to the line or the zip line doesn't require any stamina. Climbing objects also doesn't require stamina, so you can get around the map fairly easily without having to use any stamina, but you're not doing it as fast as possible. So now let's talk about the stamina special moves. Well, one of the most obvious special moves is a dash performed by pressing default shift. So while walking, shift, and shift right, shift left, shift backwards, and whatnot. You can also jump, shift forward, shift right, left, and back. You can also perform a double jump that consumes 1 stamina bar, so a double jump. And while you're in the air, you can also double tap crouch to get down to the ground faster. Again, all these settings are by default, so double jump, so double spacebar, double control, double crouch, so you're back on the ground faster. So what I have noticed from newer players, or just players in general, the second they start getting shot at, they typically waste their stamina bars right off rip, and it leaves them more likely to die. As well, you use off your dashes, you're still in lane, and well, they can just chase you and you end up dying. So what I'm going to show you is how to try to keep your stamina bars and use them more effectively, so stick with me. So dash sliding is probably the biggest movement tip or technique you need to know for this game. But besides needing that 10 meters per second speed, another way to dash slide, well, is dash and sliding. So you dash and slide. So default shift, forward, left, right, or back, and then control, which is your default crouch. So shift forward, hold crouch, and you're sliding. Again, when you're sliding, you're getting infinite ammo, so it's something really nice to have. Say you're in lane, you're fighting the enemies behind cover, well, dash to the slide and slide to the other cover. Sliding is definitely one of the biggest techniques that you need to learn in Deadlock if you just genuinely want to get better and try to die less. As you can see, I'm only using 1 stamina bar and I'm gaining a lot more movement than just a single dash. So if I dash combining with the slide, I go further and I get infinite ammo. Pretty self-explanatory that you really need to know this technique. Now it's really good to understand the flow of the maps as well, because if you dash before a downward slope or downward stairs or a downward terrain, anything of the sort, you also get an extra boost. So I'm dash, crouching, and I go further than if I would just typically slide down the stairs per se. So again, I dash and I slide all the way down, going further to compare to if I just normally slid down. So if I normally slid down, see, I end about here. But if I come back, add the move speed, I add the dash and I add slide, I go just a little bit further. So it's definitely good to have this technique down in lock and key. The next technique is called a dash jump. It's going to be using 2 stamina bars, and it requires precise timing, so keep that in mind. Well, you're going to dash, and then towards the end of the dash, jump, and you gain extra speed, extra boost, and it just gives you overall faster movement. So again, I'm dashing and jumping, and the animation is kind of right when the dash is ending. That's when you want to jump. So again, dash, jump. As you can see, I cover a large ground when I do that. I even struggle with continuously doing this sometimes because I'm kind of inept, I don't know. Deadlock pretty much holds your hand. So when you tumble, right when that stamina bar lights up blue, that's when you jump. Blue, jump. So you can practically get it every single time. If you didn't know that, make sure to subscribe. So again, when the stamina bar lights up blue, that's when you jump. So something that's good about the dash jump is you can actually incorporate a slide to the end of it. So you dash, jump, slide for even further movement. So again, try to keep that in mind. Again, for a dash jump, you dash right at the end of the dash animation or the tumble animation, that's when you jump. So following up on the dash jump, you can dash, jump, dash. Pretty self-explanatory. Get even further. You can dash, jump, double jump. It's pretty endless what you can do in this game, as there's a lot of movement and variations you can do of pretty much every single movement tech. There's a lot of tech that you can stack on top of each other that's really fun to do, and I feel like this game has a lot of potential for a lot of things, so keep that in mind. Another movement tech is dash cancel, or it's essentially canceling the dash. So to do that is dash, slide, and stop the slide. Basically what you do is you stop the animation of the full tumble with the slide and then letting go of it. Control, but you don't let it slide the entire way. So shift, tap, control, that's it. Again, these are all default settings, so dash, tap, control. It just allows you to get to minions faster. Say in the laning phase, there's a minion here, you don't want to take too much damage or you're reloading, dash cancel, and then melee, get the minion, take less damage, and all that jazz. So one of the most obvious techniques is that if you slide, you get infinite ammo. But if you didn't know that, make sure to like the video. Like I said, if you slide, infinite ammo. Now there's one technique that I'm not sure if it's technically exploiting, but I will say it's using the slide with the infinite ammo to your advantage. You can essentially abuse the fact that you're on a staircase and can slide and gain that infinite ammo by rocking back and forth between S and W on your keyboard while pressing crouch, which of course is your default crouch button. So sliding back, you can see I get infinite ammo. Walk back, slide, walk back, slide, walk back, slide, walk back, slide, walk back, slide. It's essentially a rhythm and a tempo you need to go at. Of course, I'm not the best at doing this technique. There's a ton better players that do it way better than me. But it's just an example to show that hopefully some of you may not know and now know. So much like being on the ground, transit lines actually reset your double dash and double jump. Again, it's kind of like being on the ground. I see a lot of people that don't really use the transit lines as much, so you can get on it, double jump, and then double dash. Now you're up here. You can kind of do that with the zip lines as well. I think when it comes to a game like Deadlock, everyone could be a higher skilled player. There's just a lot of untapped potential that some players might not have picked up on yet. I would say yes, aiming is a factor when it comes to this game, but I feel like movement, map knowledge, and things like that are way more beneficial than aim. Now, there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that's the teleporters. So on the map, you can see the arrows. The arrows tell you where the TPs are going to go. If my teammates need help on yellow, come here, it says teleporter, it says to York Street. Oh, TP closed. Something I forgot to mention is TP's open at 10 minutes. Say you're on the purple map, your team needs help on the yellow, take this TP in the side lane, it says to York Street. York Street is of course the yellow line. Coming to here, it takes about 5 to 10 seconds, then you're at York Street. As you can see, we're at York Street. You can help your team if they need help. There's another TP located here at the grocery produce cigars, the bodega. Coming to here, take the TP again under about 5 to 10 seconds, and you're down here at this teleporter near this level 3 camp at the purple lane. Now there's another TP past the nursery at the Sapphire team's level 3 camp, again identical to the other one on the purple side for the yellow team. Come to here, you TP across, you can see where it's going to take you by its glowing, and here you are on the purple lane. I think there's a lot of people that fail to actually use teleporters. I think teleporters are super crucial in map movement. Now besides TPs, you have zip lines or the ropes to get to higher points of the map. Again, a lot of people don't utilize the rooftops of buildings. I think they're afraid to get shocked by Zeus in the sky. As you can see, I get shocked by Zeus. If you get too high up, you can tell if a building has the lightning rods, then you're not really supposed to be up there. Again, if you're too far up, you start taking damage. That essentially wraps up my movement guide. If you learned something new, or if you're new here, why not hit that like button and that subscribe button, as it greatly helps me out. And if you learned something new, please let me know down below in the comments, as I love reading all of your comments. But anyways, I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.